Hey guys, welcome to Crafting Unedited. Sierra here, and today we are going to talk about engraving with the Cricut machine. Obviously you're going to need a few tools, and those tools are the engraving tip from Cricut for your Maker. This tip can only be used with the Cricut Maker. It cannot be used with the Explore line, and basically you see it's just like looks like a needle, but it's not, or a blade. It is just a diamond looking thing. Alright, so you're gonna need that. And go ahead and put that back in my machine. You're gonna need a strong grip mat. And don't mind the mess on this one, I kind of messed it up pretty bad. All good things, learning lessons here. And an engraving product. So this is a bracelet, and it's from ImpressArt, and it's anodized aluminum is the material that we're going to use. And basically it's got this film on top of it to protect it, so it doesn't scratch up the rest of the bracelet, just where you want the engravement. And you can put anything you want on these. It's pretty cool. I've done a couple just as test runs. So you want a strong grip mat, you want your engraving material, and you want some painter's tape. Because what you have to do is you have to secure this on all four sides with leaving room for your engraving. Words are hard, sorry. So you want to leave enough space for the words or the image that you want to put on your product. So you want to secure it on all four sides so that it doesn't shift up and down, left or right when it's being pushed down. This does create quite a bit of pressure, so it will move if you don't tape it. So just keep that in mind. Strong grip mat, painter's tape, and on all four sides. And the Maker and the engraving tip. Those are the four things that you'll need. If you're doing a bracelet, then you'll need a pair of pliers like these. This is for rings, but I've been using it for bracelets, so whatever. It works, right? Then you're going to need design space. So you're going to want to make sure that you measure your metal. That way you have enough space on there for whatever you're going to put on there, all right? So once you have your image or quote or whatever you're going to put on this, you're just going to make sure that you have it set to engrave. Now, to set it to engrave, you're going to go to the top, and where it says line type, it'll say engrave. Same thing where if you select like cut or draw, it's in that same drop down. Now, if you have the Explorer products, they will not allow you to select those. So you'll just make sure that you select engrave. All right, so we're going to go to make it. And what I have done, and this is for, you don't have to do it this way, I just prefer it this way, is I have put it in the center line. That way I have a perfectly even space. So I put it on 6 and 6, right smack dab in the middle of my mat. If you look at your mats, all Cricut mats, even if they're not Cricut brand, the one that I'm using is not, but this one is. They all have this little bolded cross right here, right in the middle. That makes for a really, really, really good, what's the word I'm using for? Point. To make sure that you have, like, X marks the spot kind of thing, right? Right. That's where my train of thought was going. So that's kind of where I've aligned it here so that I can do the same thing in design space. Basically, just move, if it'll let me select it. Come on. There we go. Oh, come on. Being a pain in the butt. So you're just going to move this down to 6 and 6. And kind of align it right smack dab in the middle of 6 and 6. So I've got 2 inches on each side, so it's almost perfect. And then it's right in the middle of the line. So what I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if you look, I could do this with the screen thing, but this is just quick. So 6, 6, voila, I have hair on me. So right in the middle. And that's how you want it aligned because that's how you have it on your mat. Works pretty well that way. All right, so next you just hit continue and let the machine do its thing. You hit continue and then you load your oh, you gotta select our materials, don't we? All right, so selecting materials now. I have anodized aluminum, and that has seemed to have worked pretty well, so that's what I'm going to select. You're going to go to Browse All Materials, and it is in Foils and Metals. Or you can type in anodized aluminum, if you know how to spell it. I didn't know how to spell it, so. Done. Now, we let our machine do its thing. You load it, and we go from there. All right, so now we have our engraved bracelet. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna hit finish on your design space down there in the right-hand corner. And then we're gonna remove all this lovely tape. And the protective film that was on the bracelet. See? Tape is fine. It doesn't remove any of the stickiness or your mat. And remove the film from the other side. And I just like to kind of go over it a little bit to make sure that we get any excess film off, because sometimes it'll get shoved in there. And there we have it. This quote is for a friend. It says, "It's not down on any map. True places never are." And so what I'll do is I'll just take my pliers and I'll bend it. So I'll do that later. I wanted to get this done because the engraving tip is really, really cool. You can see how neat the lines are. I think you can see that, yeah. And if you align it the way that I showed you, you'll have a perfectly centered image, all right? So that completes the engraving, oh my goodness, that completes the engraving video for today. I hope you enjoyed this and it was very helpful. I know it was. But if you don't mind subscribing, that would be phenomenal. That way you can see the rest of my fun tutorials. And until next time, my crafty friends, we'll see you later.